Hey everybody, welcome back to the YouTube channel, Living the Country Life with Thomas Collins. This is going to be part 2 of the town hall meeting. It's pretty interesting. We're going to get right to it.
It's not a position at Herschel. This is a intelligent
If you
position.
saw the basic applications they've used in the past, it's shameful.
Look, you have to have
It's shameful.
and then resumes, certainly, how else are we gonna go?
Okay, I'm not gonna reiterate this any further. We're doing resumes, we're doing interviews.
Resumes
So
are
if
fine,
you're gonna be on the
interviews are
board
fine.
and if you're gonna be involved in the process, then do so. Otherwise, don't be on the board, because if you're for this town and you're for the
I'm all
people,
for this
then you
town.
should be on the board and doing what we need to do to move forward.
I don't wanna argue with you, so you have to have applications.
Well, I make the motion that we all get together and look over the resumes.
Okay?
Yeah, we need to.
And look on the list.
The resumes.
Call
And
it
talk
an
to these people.
That's a
application.
good
Make sure
start,
that-
yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
start.
Oh, my God. Yeah, we got it.
There's important deadlines for a lot of things that need to be done because the ball's been dropped for quite a while and we're in penalty zone on a lot of things.
How do you
So-
verify resumes?
Oh my God.
A resume is the same thing as an application, just get more details on it.
A resume like an application.
If you get together and have a meeting to consider the resumes for clerk, that meeting, there's more than one council person there, has to be noticed.
Right, we have,
Certain information that would not have to be disclosed to the public, but the fact that there's a meeting and it's going to be attended by more than one council person,
Right,
that requires some time or another.
which is what we're trying to set up right here, right now. So we need to get on the same page and set that up.
that is, we have it already listed as an ongoing workshop, because there is so much work going on here weekly already. This should be able to fall into one of those days of the workshop, but that's already noticed, and this is already given.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
I'd like to speak to, probably what John was saying. The difference between a resume and an application is the fact that, in an application, you provide for the applicant the different things that you are looking for. In a resume, and a prospective employee can put anything down they want. And so with an application, you're comparing apples to apples. With the resume, you're comparing apples to oranges to whatever. And so, if nothing else, even if you don't do an application, you all need to come up with the specific things you're looking for from each applicant, so that you can compare one to the other. But that's the reason for an application as opposed to a resume.
The job's posted, it's already posted, and all the details of the job have been listed, then advertised out. And that's what people are responding to resume to, and of course, we need to filter all the resumes we've got down to what we think is a primarily the better ones in the group, and then have everyone, so that everyone's not sitting here going through 60 applications, going through the 4 top ones, or the 4 or 5 upper ones, and you pin it down even further. And I think those steps are being met through the listing of this job description.
How do you vet a potential employee? You have to vet them.
So what day are you coming in here to look through the resumes?
Anytime they're ready.
Okay, because we have workshops Wednesday and Thursday from 10 to 2. So that would be tomorrow or Thursday. I can expect to see you in.
Tomorrow, Wednesday,
Okay.
You need everybody those days.
Well,
I work this Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, that's what I'm saying. But I'll be back Monday.
Everybody needs to look through the resumes so that we can pick who we want to do interviews, because you're not gonna interview all of them.
We can extend the workshops on out. The workshop only requires 24-hour notice at some time. So we can extend it out through Thursday or Friday.
So would be your next available day? Monday?
Well, then, I think we should make notice in the meeting that we're gonna extend the workshop workshops from Monday through Friday, so that when everyone has the opportunity to come at their schedule, and take a look and go through the ones, and then,
The clerk position is the most important position,
Yes.
and with all these deadlines, this is insane. If we don't get these things done, you might as well just lock up the doors and unincorporate, because you can't continue going on this way. It's a mess. And I can't believe all the things that were not done over the past year that we are getting fined for. While we had 3 people in here getting paid is ridiculous. And now people are expected to come in here for free and fix this mess. It's ludicrous.
all right, I'm gonna go back to my motion. I'm gonna make a motion that we make a motion to pay Belinda and Therese for the time they've been working in here and the time it takes until we get a court position filled. I'll make a motion. Anybody second? That we pay them for the time.
I second the motion to pay them until we can get a clerk.
How much are you on that?
The going wages that the clerk would get. And the assistant would get. Well, it's probably, less than that, I'm sure.
Is it retro? Is it retro from the beginning?
Yes, those will be back in the time, because they've been in here working 3 weeks, 4 weeks now, day after day after day after day. And I know that Teresa's been giving up her income to do it. Belinda has been giving up her time, but she's chasing down, she's got stuff to do with her father and medical stuff and issues of doing. And she's giving up big sacrifice of times in her life as well. I think they need to be compensated, absolutely. And, for the job they have done, they have well deserved being compensated.
I personally wouldn't expect to get paid any more than what Mary was getting paid.
The clerk position wages, I guess we'll discuss that at the time, but we'll assume that is, actually, probably we'll discuss it tonight, so that we can take care of this issue in line with that. The clerk position is, for the level we need, is gonna be somewhere around $20 as an intern, coming in initially, and, with the progression of getting to $25 an hour, it'll take a year or 2 years' time, it'll be 6 months integrations or progressions to get to that 25 an hour. But the clerk we need needs that type of wage, because there is a lot to be done in there and a lot to keep organized. And obviously, it's too much for the previous staff that had experience in here. So it is overwhelming.
There's also clerk certification.
I agree with that too. So those will be the wages that we're talking about on the funds that we're paying this year, for the plan, wages. And then we'll go from there on, into the new positions of the clerks will follow the same suit of time wages.
And I will be more than happy for a clerk to get hired and not come in here and do any of it. So I'm not looking for a future as a clerk.
She wants her job back.
I'd like my life back.
So you saying we're gonna pay $25 an hour? Is that what you're saying?
No, we're starting
Just study on that.
$20 an hour is what the job's gonna start out at, and based on their experience and their levels of growing in it, and in time, work it up to, the 25 is the max, basically. But,
For what we're gonna pay them for what they're doing.
$20 an hour, $15 an hour. Is that right?
Yes. Like I said, I wouldn't expect to get paid
I think
anything more.
that's what Mary's was 15.
15, but they can have.
Whatever it is, whatever the wage was, is what it is. But Belinda's would definitely be 20, and I really certainly hope that she puts in, I think she already has put in for the clerk position, or at least the bookkeeping position.
There is a resume.
Yeah, and I think that she is well qualified for the higher level
And
of
this,
that pay scale.
the clerk position needs to be split into 2 clerk positions, one for the financial side and the rest for the administrative side. And it should still equal the 30 hours, so it's not gonna go over what Mary was working. Either it can be 10 and 20, 15 and 15, either way, it's gonna be 30 hours. That way, you always have somebody to cover the other person, should they not show up or they quit, like we're in the mess we're in now, we wouldn't be in that mess in the future. if you have two people that are trained on everything. So,
On the,
going forward, that's the way it needs to be broken down.
I think the, administrative side is the shift, we need to get back to open Monday through Friday from 10 to 2. And, as soon as we get that position filled, and that position is the administrative position, and the bookkeeping will be based on the hours that she requires, the schedule she can provide us with, working in between her medical issues that she's working with at home.
I think if that's what you wanted to bring up this meeting, it should have been on the agenda. It just came up.
Do you want me to write a novel, because it's in the agenda of what we're talking about? And again, if you would have been attending the workshops about the clerk position, you would know all this already.
Well, workshops aren't a requirement.
If you're on the board and you're working towards doing things on the town, then you should come and discuss what needs to be done.
Oh, that's why we have meetings.
Once a month meeting when we're in the crisis we're in is not gonna fix things.
Well,
I'm sorry I'm putting you out so
you're not
much.
putting me out. What is?
How do you think we're gonna get anything
Are
done?
you interrupting me?
I am.
Oh my goodness.
Go on.
Oh, well, I stand there interrupting.
Okay, let it be noted.
Please. The attorney asked him about this, what are agendas for? Agendas are so we get the agenda, we know what we're gonna be discussing and what we're gonna be voting on. All of a sudden you bring up this out of the clear blue sky and.
Have you read the agenda?
I certainly
There's no
have read
clear blue
many
sky.
times. There's nothing about raising.
Okay, so now we're getting off topic and I'd like to reel it back in.
I think it's.
If, you know, if people would have been helpful, you wouldn't have had to pay these people all this money.
So is there any more about the discussion of splitting it into two? Because I'm pretty sure that way back when they hired Angela, this was the same reasoning, to hire two people, so that if Mary was out and anything happened, somebody would know what was going on. Am I wrong about that? Because that was what was said way back then.
And we voted on that, yes.
So, and it's not going more than the 30 hours that Mary was getting paid. We're actually using a lot less hours.
Not the point to it, isn't it?
Okay, so do you wanna help make things good, or are you just gonna knock everything down?
I'm not trying to knock everything down.
I'm trying to move forward with something better.
Why, what's the reason for having an agenda for a meeting?
Oh.
What's the reason?
For you to read it.
Okay.
Would you like to make a motion to add this question to the agenda so that we can make a motion to go on, so he doesn't have to die on this mountain?
Yeah, I would do that, but it is, the clerk's position is listed in here. The clerk's position is listed in the agenda and we discussed. Wages is part of that decision, of that, it's all the same. It ain't like it's isolated out, we're gonna talk about one sentence, it's all about the clerk
Okay,
position.
well, wait till we hit new business where it says splitting clerk position into two part-time positions, clerk/bookkeeper, okay? Cause it's here.
Yes,
I was just bringing it up.
you bring up how you're going to.
Anyway.
Separate.
Let's move forward.
Terry, you have a second on the motion for you and Belinda to get paid. You wanna vote on that?
You have a second? Sim made a motion to pay Belinda and Teresa, and Gail seconded it.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
I need to be paid.
Thank you, Don.
Well, if it's been on the
Okay, thank you,
agenda.
Don. Now we're moving on. No, Don says no. Okay. Now we're gonna talk about the equipment disposal. There was a list made of all the old equipment. All the hard drives have been pulled out of the computers so they can be properly disposed of. Do I hear a motion to dispose of this equipment?
Is it ready to be disposed of?
Yeah, all the hard drives have been pulled. They're saved in the office. They will stay in the office. And everything is blank.
I'll make a motion, we, go ahead with that.
Do I hear a second? All in favor? Unanimous?
Before you go on, there was a motion on the floor, to look through the resumes, but that was it, nothing passed the motion.
We made a workshop throughout the weeks, that who wants to come in with the resumes to get them.
So the workshop will go Monday through Friday, so people can come in and look at the resumes and we can set up interviews.
If all good, by next Tuesday, I'll at least come through and get what time we want them going through on it, so that next week we can make a decision on the next step.
Yeah, that's really important. The next thing we had was the bank access at the one bank, has been changed. Up until June 14th, somebody was still accessing it online and ordered debit cards for one of the accounts and turned on one of the debit cards that was shut off. Now all the accesses online have been changed. I don't know why anybody would be accessing those accounts. So that's the update on that.
Can you share who had access to those accounts?
The online access was from the previous clerk. She was the only one who had online access.
Who was supposed to be in rehabilitation?
So the bank did say that we might look in the future into even changing our email address, because if that's the things that were gonna be going on.
So what did they do? They
went online and signed in on the bank accounts while they still had access to the online,
So
because
they had already quit.
they weren't working here anymore. And the bank had shut off the debit cards. Well, they turned one back on and ordered another one.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
even know why you would do that, but
Was anything purchased on it?
no, and the bank shut it all off, and
Is it traceable to find out who done that?
they can find out from the IP address, so
Are we gonna pursue finding out?
I believe we should.
Well, here's the.
Was there anything else about that? Okay. The previously scanned documents, just to update you on that, they've been found in several different locations on different computers, but none of the stuff that was scanned in was labeled or named, unfortunately. So, and then some of the file folders that were named are empty. So unfortunately, it seems like that whole process will need to be started over again, so you paid people to do that for no reason. Apparently the other people that were hired were not allowed access to the office and were told to just scan it to the computer in there, and then nobody followed through with naming it. And there was an $1,100 printer that was purchased in February, so that it could sit in that corner and nobody would be allowed access to the office. We didn't need an $1,100 printer at the time. There was 2 working printers in the office, so we wasted $1,100 on a printer that wasn't needed.
I thought we needed that to scan. We was gonna scan all
The
those.
ones in the office scan, that worked fine. So we did not need that, nor did we need one. If you were gonna buy one, you certainly didn't need an $1,100 printer.
When we voted on it, we were told they wasn't working.
Yeah, they were.
Or they needed 2 to scan, that's what it was.
Yeah.
They needed 2 people to be scanning at one time, so that's why we did that.
There is two standards
Yeah.
in there already.
Yeah.
But the assistant clerk stated, their purpose was, it was purpose for them, so they wouldn't be in it, they couldn't come in the office. And they were shut out from all the business going on in the
So I
office.
just wanted
So
to
they
let you
don't
know
return
that.
it?
I wish, I just wanted to let you know that,
Okay.
people need to be more vigilant on what's getting
What we're spending,
purchased and what's the real story, because that wasn't needed. And it seems like people have no problem with wasting money on certain things, but don't wanna pay for other things, and I don't really understand any of that. But moving forward, what else? The pending lawsuit, we're still trying to find the files to provide. The audio files have not been recovered. Those are missing from the office. There's different things, and it's hard to try to gather up these things for the lawsuit when we have so many other deadlines for things as well. So that's still ongoing, just to let you know.
And there's some copies of the minutes and stuff are missing of the meetings in these times.
Yeah, it seems like for some reason, the time periods that were requested are missing from this building. So I don't know if those were things that were taken out of here or not.
I could have
We have
accidentally
the
done.
device that is recorded on, however.
No, it's a crashed device.
Well,
Nothing was recovered audio file wise from any of the hard drives.
that sounds like someone should be able to retrieve that stuff.
Smells more like someone deleted this.
Maybe the person that took it out of the
Even
building
when they
should
delete
retrieve it.
stuff, it can still be, recovered. I think you should make a.
The recording devices
effort
are tape.
to recover that stuff, it's very important.
There was recovery, the recording devices were the tape, and the tapes are not here.
Tapes? aren't
Yeah.
they?
They're not here.
Well,
And that recorder was.
that was like about at least over 5 years ago.
They have older ones in this building, but not those. So I'm just saying that those are missing, so we're still trying to get all those things together.
We took stuff
Because
from.
Well,
So I just wanna keep you informed of the progress or lack thereof. The
So
different
you're
things.
saying over 5 years ago was this?
over 5 years ago, when they did cassette tapes, then they got the new digital recording devices. And that's went to the computer, the hard drive, and they had a computer dedicated to it. And that's the one that crashed. So it should be
Talking to each other. And you should be dealing with counsel on that, not making it a public issue.
Thank you.
I keep you informed. Now we're moving on to the nuisance dogs with the animal control and the update of that. So in order to have an animal control officer, you're required to complete a 40-hour minimum course, and that is $550. And as I've looked in the things going back and forth in conversations with the previous clerk and lawyers and whatnot, they said that unless we were gonna have a facility to keep the animals, that wouldn't be something we could afford to do. So at this point, Levy County has told me if we drop off animals there, they'll accept them. So going forward, at this point, I think the only thing we could do is to hire a dog catcher, trapper to come in periodically and get rid of the animals. Also, as citizens, you can pick them up and take them to the pound yourself. But, some of them are aggressive, and they said if they're coming after you, and you have to do what's necessary to protect yourself. So, we'll look into having a dog catcher come in certain amount of times during the week to catch these animals, because I know everybody has been tired for years. This has been a problem, and everybody's been complaining for years. So I will have someone start coming in for that. Any discussion on that?
What about, what about, interlocal agreement with the county? If they have those facilities, they have the manpower, they have the vehicle, why don't we make an interlocal agreement with them to take care of the,
That's
They-
not,
they-
that's not part of the agreement.
They said they're not gonna come out here and pick them up, but we can bring them to them.
but they don't wanna do it in an agreement.
Because we're a city.
Yeah, we're a city, so we should be doing this ourselves, but we don't have the money to have a facility.
For us to provide services that the county provides, our tax bill will have to be the same as what the county charges.
Oh, okay, I just talked with,
But we can send someone to school.
Yep.
And they can come in, pick them up and take them there.
We have to
Is that
provide
what
security.
Or we can hire somebody who catches
Has already,
dogs
that,
and
yes,
hire them like once a week to come in
and pick them up and take them
and
off.
do that, so,
Or,
I don't know.
or at least don't call when, problem is, it's time that someone travels here to get the dog are gone from where they reported to be in that. So,
Yeah.
That's on the spot.
If you wanna look into hiring the dog catcher,
Trapper,
trapper,
license.
Or you could save yourself money and then every
Well, that would be ideal if everybody kept their animals in their house, but unfortunately, that's not what's going on. And it hasn't been for years. And a lot of people, yes, also like to dump their animals in this town, unfortunately. Sad.
When the previous clerk got attacked by a dog, just one, delivering the notice to someone to try to help them pay the water bill. She got attacked, she got beat up pretty bad, it was rough, it was hard.
So at this point, I think we need to finally do something about it, so do I hear a motion that we hire a dog trapper?
I make a motion, we hire a dog trapper.
Do I hear a
Wow,
second?
get it? Yeah.
Get it, Gil.
Get it.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Microphone, she can hear.
Unanimous on that one? That would be so nice to be able to walk through the town. Okay, and, the AT&T phone service with the internet, there was a lot of wasted costs there. So I did call them up and they were offering 2 cell phone lines with internet for $169 a month, where we're currently paying over $500 a month right now for 2 internet lines and 2 business phone lines. However, they wouldn't hook them up because we can't prove we're a business, so we have to look more into another company, but for now, we canceled one of the lines and we canceled the other internet line. I'm not sure why they ever had the other internet line, because it was originally, from what I understand, supposed to be a public internet service, but they didn't like that the neighbors were using it. So they made it private, so it was just sitting there, not even in use, at $100 a month over a 3-year period. That was $3,600 that was wasted. The other phone line that was for faxes, which nobody even faxes, has not needed $150 a month for over 3 years. $5,400 was wasted, so that was a total of $9,000 wasted. So in the meantime, one of the DSL lines was canceled and one of the phone lines has been canceled, and I'll continue to look for a service, I guess, outside of AT&T. So we've cut the cost in half for now. Yes.
May I ask a question? I don't know if this would be a consideration or not. Hopefully the attorney's listening on that, but you can go to Straight Talk.
Yes, someone did tell me about that this
You can
week, so
do
I do
that.
have a few things to look at.
And it's, month to month, unlimited, and you get a box for $99. You have to own the box. And when you own the box, you now have month to month, unlimited, no time restraints. And you can renew it ahead of time and gain credit.
Yeah, have
And
them
it's
on the
totally
list.
legal, business or residential. I have the system myself. I live in one of the worst areas there is for Straight Talk savings. And I get anywhere from 75 megabytes per second, if anybody knows anything about internet speed. And,
Anything is better than what we currently have,
Well,
because we
I
have some
currently
really bad
was on-
internet.
AT&T, and I was only getting 6 megabytes per second, so you can see that.
Appreciate that.
Yeah,
I mean, you might wanna consider it. It's totally
Oh, yeah,
legal.
I do have that on the list to look at this week.
We tried to get that.
It didn't work, okay.
They don't have that.
How about I bring my box down here on the job?
Sure,
Welcome, come.
yeah, we appreciate
If
that.
it works, then
Bring it on, let's plug it up, let's do it.
Yeah.
I'll buy a second one. You can have the second one.
You'll know right there, if it's something to look into, it works.
I'll be happy to do that. When's this workshop we're talking about?
Monday through Friday.
Monday through Friday, 10 to 2.
Am I allowed to come in here on
You can.
You can.
You can, but you can't participate in any council
Oh, no,
conversation.
no, I wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah.
That might get out of hand.
Now it's your
I
turn.
don't want to do that.
We got some repairs we gotta do at both plants. obviously the motors we talked about earlier. I believe we talked about those because it's part of one deal that was outstanding. There is a, it's gonna take some redoing of some lines to get the pumps back in there and get them so they can't get air. The new pumps suck so much faster and so much more water going